for already almost 20 years. So, but we very often make the mistake and call that country Czechoslovakia still. So it's, or we call the people Czechoslovaks, which is the biggest offense you can do. But, oh, I better sit down. But unknown topic in this world. Nobody knows what their future pension will be. And we've had a good example of that 20 years ago when the system changed from communist to capitalist. And all the people of my parents' generation, they all of a sudden ended up with having almost no money to live on, because even though they have both been working, or I mean everybody in this country was working during communist times, but that my parents who have been paying into that system all their lives, because they had, I mean, the state has been paying on their behalf. It turned out there is nothing. So after first usage, you wouldn't even be able to repair them or some other, you know, ultra high quality equipment. Economic crisis in those days. I mean, there was really nothing in the shops. And I remember it personally very, very well, because I was like 10, 11 years old then. This is a church from 1700s, early 1700s, so 400 years.
Wooden architecture. Church.
And there was shortage of everything, but it doesn't mean that people were hungry. Buy a pig from the farmer, which was, by the way, not legal. During communist times, the farmers were doing things like that. So this was how we managed. Like I told you, everybody, when we were coming back from the salt mine, I told you everybody produced moonshine at home. And it's not that it was just some, you know, marginal people. Professors, doctors, lawyers, everybody did it, because you couldn't buy any alcohol in the shops. So what do? You produce it at home. I remember my father had even must have a tombstone like that. They don't, absolutely, they cannot think of being buried without one. And that's, we're talking of thousands of dollars. Switched to euro last year, and they are suffering now very badly, because everything became so expensive that they can't afford to live there. Like, people stopped going, and they come skiing to Poland, the Slovaks, because they so that's why you don't see any of these animals outside, because they are all kept in individual farms. Mysterious signs you asked me about, the outline of the city, 50 kilometers per hour outside of the city. So when the city is crossed out, you can go 90. These are the speed limits. Almost all became Slovakia and their western neighbor, Czech Republic. They split peacefully because they wanted to. And it is especially the Slovaks who wanted to, okay? It wasn't the Czechs' decision, it was the decision of the Slovaks, and they were driving towards this separation for many years. But for 100 years, previously what was here was Hungary, and in the west it was Austria. So Czechoslovakia was formed out of these two countries, and in fact what they incorporated into their own country were the industrial areas of both Hungary and Austria. Difficult. And this is because they were so multi-ethnic. They had Czechs, they had Slovaks, they had a huge number of Jewish people, but the largest of all the ethnic groups were German. The big brother had to be heard. So all these villages, tiny towns, they might not have had radio or television, but they did have the radio system of the authorities. Between Poland and Hungary, and therefore this castle was guarding all the traffic that was going. The castle was built here, such a fortification was built here to purposely guard the
Gustav and Ignaz, my grandfather. Taste of sunshine.
Mr. Sonnenschein, Miss Sonnenschein is here to see you.
Yes, I do smoke.
Then have a cigar. Go on, please. Everyone. It's not possible for the Central Court to have a presiding judge with a name like Sonnenschein. We'd like to promote you. We trust you. We need you.
Sign the declaration.
Son, it proves that your education has been of value, that you do your work well, that you're respected. But our people must never climb too high, even when they're invited to. The man who comes from somewhere
on top of the hill here, just a minute from here, and we are going to have a vegetable soup. We'll have a chicken. You will have some great views from the place where the restaurant is located, because it's up on the hill.
Where are you looking? Oh. Is that the name of the village or the hotel?
What? I don't know.
Beautiful snowy country. Parasailing out there in the sky.
The views are spectacular. There's a hang glider up there. Oh yeah, look at that.
The right, this is the matter of the last 5 years. Yes, it really sprung up in the last 5 years. So, because there has been an enormous demand, well, unfortunately, in the last year, they decided to switch to euro. And this and the euro, it killed their tourism.
Well, I always thought that, you know, that was...
So, they... Donovali is the name of the place. D-O-N-O-V-A-L-Y. Donovali.
D-O-N-O-V-L-V-A-L-Y.
The monarchy crumbled. In Hungary, as in many European countries, revolution erupted. In 1919, the communists took power. It occurred to Ignaz that the empire and his marriage to Valerie fell apart in much the same way.